The Matrix tries to make us think that equality and justice are the status quo of modern society. In the last few decades, we have been brainwashed. Here are some lies they fed us: pay gap, glass ceiling, male privilege, toxic masculinity, and the list goes on. In recent times, we have witnessed how the judicial system and mass media propaganda mistreat men to the point where it is okay to make fun of them, but doing so with women is considered a crime. Plus, the school system is trying to suppress the fighting instincts of boys by making them feminine and promoting degeneracy. After centuries when moral values were a thing and people wanted to build families, now marrying is not a good idea anymore. You probably have heard a woman saying that if her boyfriend cheats, she can cheat too. It seems that love has become exceptional, and only a few couples and families out there are living happily ever after. The other couples are having arguments, trust issues, and a sort of fight for privileges. That's what is known as toxic relationships. On top of that, hookup culture is so strong these days, and since multiple modern women are careless, they share the reasons why they cheated on their partners. Here are 3 confessions that will open your eyes to reality. But before we go deeper, let me share the comment of the day. Mr. X said, "It was the best decision of my life. It's the one thing that no one, not even women or society, can take away from me, my freedom. I kept wondering what was wrong with me. Then I found out it wasn't me, but them, women, who were in the wrong. Women see men as sex dolls with ATM functions, mere objects to be used, abused, and disposed of. They want to take without giving in return. They want all the privileges of adulthood with none of the responsibilities. They want to be treated and provided for and protected like children." Even at my work, a few of my female coworkers have told me they prefer to work with men, not other women. One went as far as saying too much pussy in one place makes that place toxic. And it's not something that uncommon for women to admit. Whenever they can, they will shift the blame towards men. I'm surprised no woman has ever accused Mr. Benz, the creator of the automobile, of misogyny, since cars can run over women. Heck, Volvo has been too lucky, since their logo is pretty much the symbol for male. Did you ever notice that? If a man cheats, he's an asshole. If a woman cheats, it's because he's an asshole. The double standards is one of the reasons why I left the game around 13 years ago. I don't want a submissive woman. Women's nature isn't submissive, and demanding humans go against their nature is bigoted and wrong in more ways than one. Besides, my ego isn't that fragile. I don't want a housewife. Worst breed of leech. A healthy adult living at my expense? Never. And I don't like him younger either. Too creepy. Even if I were in the game, no woman meets my standards. Not that they're high, of course, but when they can't even shed hypergamy, which is not nature, it's nurture, meaning a learned behavior, they're way below the minimum requirements, like trying to run Forza Horizon 5 on a Pentium 2. I get along with my female coworkers. Some more than others. Obviously, I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to be able to put food on the table and keep the lights on. But at this point, I don't feel like even going back into the game again. Yikes, I'd need a hazard suit just to survive the toxicity. I couldn't agree more. I am glad you're enjoying your freedom. Although I do not share the same opinion on how women should be, I think women should be submissive, but just like you, I do have high standards and modern women just don't meet them. As a result, I also walked away from dating. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5. As usual, guys, I will pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most light, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment, and you may be our next winner. Now, back to the video. We have reached a point in history where morals are almost non-existent. If a man cheats, he is evil, whereas if a woman cheats, she has legitimate reasons to do it, such as not getting enough attention, not feeling desired, or even not getting the kind of carnal pleasure she wanted. And these stories will show a raw side that will destroy all fairy tales and social narratives you might have heard. Story number 1. This first story is narrated by a guy who has been with a few married women. Check it out. I've been with a few married women, and I love asking them this question just to understand how women think. One of the most interesting things I've found about wives who cheat is how they have to justify why they're cheating. Men can cheat and have absolutely no reason for cheating apart from the fact that they were horny and the woman was hot, was available, or both. Women, on the other hand, seem to feel the need to justify why they're doing what they're doing, and in most cases, the root cause is blamed on their man, never their carnal desires. So based on my observations and conversations with cheating married women, this is why I think married women cheat. Respect or lack of it for their spouses. I think this is the biggest reason a woman will cheat on you. If she doesn't respect you as a man, then it makes it easier for her to fuck another man and not blink an eye. I've never met a woman who cheats on a man she respects. That just doesn't happen. And the main reasons why the woman doesn't respect her husband are either about money or ambition, or both. If the woman thinks you're not making enough money to sustain the family or you're not ambitious enough, she's more tempted to cheat on you. Not being fulfilled sexually. We need to kill this myth that men have stronger sex drives than women. Women want sex just as much as men do. Listen up carefully though. Back in the day, society ostracized horny promiscuous women, calling them sluts, whores, hoes, while horny promiscuous men were deemed to be studs. So most women learned to hide their sexual drive and desires in order to be seen as the good girl next door. We know that these days society says it is okay to be a woman with a high body count, but a man must be loyal forever. However, once married, the woman gets frustrated if her partner doesn't match her sexual drive and / or isn't as kinky as her. Eventually, too much sexual frustration leads a woman to look for an alternative. Just sheer boredom. Some women love the thrill of fucking around on their men. Their men could be doing everything right, yet forbidden sex is so sweet. Maybe their men don't appreciate them enough. Maybe the marriage has become boring and predictable. Maybe it's some kind of midlife crisis, or maybe she's just bored with her normal, predictable life. If a man shows her a bit of attention, compliments her, and treats her like a woman instead of a wife or mother, it makes things easier for her to take the plunge, sometimes with disastrous consequences for all parties involved. Story number 2. This time, it's a woman who narrates the story. I didn't actually cheat, but after a close call last year, I'd finally understand why people do, or at least why I would. It was upsetting at the time to know that I could be that tempted, but in retrospect, I'm glad it worked out the way it did because I have a better idea now what situations to steer clear of in the future. For me, it was mostly because I love that intense energy that comes from clicking with someone new. No matter how many other wonderful things you can get from a long-term relationship, you'll never again get that delirious feeling of first falling for someone once you're married. And the reason I let it get as far as it did is that it's pretty similar to making a new friend, only you also want to rip their clothes off, and there's the deeply flattering knowledge that they feel the same way about you. I hadn't seen my husband for a month at that point, and it was in a foreign country where there was truly no chance in hell he would ever find out, which was also tempting. Also, this was one of the most beautiful men I've ever met. We were in a tropical country, on the beach, where it was asinine to wear anything but a swimsuit, and for a week we hung out and talked late into the night and cooked and went for walks, and the whole time I made rules for myself: no physical contact. Must mention the husband multiple times a day, no dirty jokes, no drinking at all. No, seriously, don't touch the man no matter what. And having the rules made it seem okay, like I knew exactly where the boundary was that mustn't be crossed, until one night we were watching videos and he tucked his hand between my knees and my whole body changed the temperature in both directions at once. And for what were some of the longest, most agonizing seconds of my life, I did nothing. And then finally took his hand and put it back in his lap with a smile, and he said sorry, and we chatted a few more hours, and I left the next day. I've always thought of myself as someone who would never cheat. I now think of myself as someone who is one drink and a compromising situation away from the possibility. It's uncomfortable, but hopefully it'll help me make less risky choices in the future. Sorry, wall of text. I guess the short answer to your question is I'd followed through pure mind-melting lust. Story number 3. And the last one is a very telling confession a woman made. This is an answer to the question, why are so many women cheating on good guys? Trust me, this might be the most outrageous one. Why are so many women cheating on good guys? because they have been duped by the lie that they can have their cake and eat it too thanks to feminism and subliminal peer pressure. Entitlement plays a huge part in this, along with a lack of decent morals because of modern culture's low standards. They think that they can get away with it for some cheap thrill, and you'll take them back, thinking that you'll never be able to find someone better. Well, guess what? You can find someone better than the terrible women you're all married to. These cheaters see you as the provider of a roof over their heads while hooking up with losers that will never amount to anything that makes them feel wanted and validated. You can be the most good-looking and successful man out there, but they get that mentality of wanting more because they are selfish and entitled. To cheaters, it's all a game to them. There is absolutely nothing wrong with any of you, but there is everything wrong with the women you chose to be with. Are you and your wife separated? If not, you should be getting the paperwork filed. Remember, nothing says that you have to stay with someone who places so little value on you. All of you are worth way more than that. I'm speaking to both men and women. These 3 confessions say a lot about why men are losing faith in relationships with women. It is almost, if not completely impossible, to find a woman worth dating. They tend to be brainwashed and moved by carnal desires. In fact, they tend to want attention, and the idea of genuine love, like what we've been taught in Disney movies, is all a fucking narrative. As a result, it's not surprising that men are escaping the dating scene and embracing a life of singlehood. MGTOW is a philosophy many guys are embracing now. Do you still wonder why? If so, feel free to check my MGTOW videos, and I will remove all doubts you may have. Men, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Has any woman ever told you why she cheated? If so, what has she said? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, hit the like and subscribe buttons, comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.